Hello and welcome to your new favorite paranormal podcast. I am your host, Kevin Leonard. With me today is Seth Converse, and Corey is back. Welcome back, Corey, the ghost
Hi.
detective beam.
Hi. Yeah, I used to co-host this thing. Remember me?
Yeah,
Who are you
so
again?
it's been so long, Corey.
That's
So
been a
how
bit.
how you guys been?
Let me
Don't
tell
all
you.
speak at once.
Well, hold on. I was talking. I was about to speak. Uh, this week is a nice short week for us, as in me, government employees. Because yay God. So I'm off Friday, so I'm excited about that.
That's
Tomorrow's
nice.
Friday for me. Nothing wrong with that. So this week has been no complaints on this end, at least.
I don't know what a day off is.
I know you don't. You work in hell.
Yeah, it is. How you doing, Seth?
Meh.
Sounds
I
about
so
right. All right.
I was actually the reason I said that is because there was one time Cleo and I were visiting this place and having lunch at in St. Augustine, and uh, working in the restaurant business for so long, you're supposed to be so like smiley and happy and tell. Like, and I walked up to this guy. We were about to order our food, and I said, "Hey, man, how you doing today?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "Thank you. That's the most honest answer I've ever got from anybody in the service industry." Like, he was just straight up honest, and I was like, I really
You
appreciate that,
appreciate that,
man."
right?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's just like, he's just
100%.
like, "Yeah."
Well,
Like, I was like, "Yes, I love it."
that's how it was for me. Because every time I go to a Circle K and they say, what do
Welcome
they
in.
have to? Well, not welcome, and there's something they have to say, and I forget. Um, I don't know why I can't remember it now, but there is a phrase they're supposed to say to you after, and it's different now because now almost every Circle K has robots to check you out. But
Hmm.
it's kind of like at the Chick-fil-A, they say my pleasure. But when you go there, it kind of feels like somewhat real, whether it's not, probably isn't.
Mhm.
But
Mm.
like, you know, every time they said it at Circle K, just because I used to work there, I mean, you just ruined it. Like, just say you don't have to be fake pleasant. You can literally cuss me out. I don't really care. You get your frustrations out on me if you need to. I mean, I went to Publix one time and they asked me. I kind of reversed it on them. They asked me to if I wanted paper or plastic, and I said, F the sea turtles, give me plastic, and they were mortified. Thought it'd cheer, brighten up their day. Um, I don't. That's not quite what happened. Uh,
D-
they,
Dark humor is lost on a lot of people. I've
it,
noticed.
it,
Yeah.
sadly, it is.
I know because
Um,
like my humor can get pretty dark, and sometimes it's like silence, and I'm like, wrong crowd, shit.
Listen,
Yeah.
some of my
Yeah.
favorite times are like the 2 o'clock in the morning Kappa trips, or on the way back from somewhere where we're all partly delirious and
Hmm.
sleep deprived, and we're just saying the most random or the milkshakes
At Denny's.
at Denny's at 3 in the morning. That can be you
Yeah,
know
Yeah.
we're talking about a case, and people around us are like, "What the fuck are these people talking about?" But
Yeah.
it's the same
I
thing
miss
with
the
like
milkshakes.
yeah, me too. It's the same thing with like cosplay and stuff. Because we love like mixing in, like if we're at Comic Con or MegaCon or something like that, or even a Ren Fair, we like just going in places that where like everybody's normies in there, but you're the one dressed up and shit, and people are like, "What is going on?" And you're like, it just I don't know. There's something about that feeling that you're just like, I just weirded everybody out. This is great.
well, that's my favorite feeling, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good, man.
I
So
will
Good,
say,
before,
but
good for the soul.
oh wow,
go
okay.
go ahead, Corey.
Well, I just wanted to say, have you guys? Okay, this is just before we get too far into a topic.
Hmm.
Chat
Too right.
GPT. Just want to get this out there. I got roasted by Chat GPT this week or last week. I
Okay.
asked it. I gave it a picture of me, and I asked it, make me a family, and I clearly said, give me a husband, 2 kids, white picket fence, regular suburban house, yada yada yada, and a dog. And it made an image, and it did really good, except it gave me a wife, and I'm like, no, we're not going to do any of this heteronormal bullshit on this Chat GPT. So I, I said, no, I meant an attractive husband. Do you know what it got rid of? It got rid of me. Attractive husband in my place. And I was like, you son of a bitch. You believe that?
That's
How
what I would have
dare?
done.
Oh my
How
God.
dare Chat GPT? It was the fun. Everyone in I was at work on lunch when it happened, and everyone in the office was dying, laughing. I'm like, I can't believe that just happened. What an asshole.
That's
But
funny.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yay. So
So what I was gonna say is before we get into anything, go ahead and mark your calendars. It's a ways off, but we do have a date in effect right now. October 25th. We will be at the Ormond Beach Library doing a Paranormal 101. So you have time to make your arrangements and take time off work or whatever it is you have to do. All the information will be on the Kappa Facebook page. So make sure if you haven't already, go ahead and follow and like all of Kappa's socials. Again, that is October 25th at the Ormond Beach Library. And also, we touched on it last week a little bit. The ladies of Kappa are going to be hosting their own podcast, and you can follow right along here to keep up to date with it for when that goes live. Make sure you subscribe to the Kappa YouTube channel if you haven't already. And also follow us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, anywhere you listen to podcasts, wherever you're listening to this right now, make sure you go ahead and follow, subscribe, do whatever it is you have to do to stay up to date. That way you won't miss it when it releases, and we will continue plugging it here until they go live. So comment down below with all the hearts and all that stuff to show your love to the ladies of Kappa and what they're about to be bringing to the table. And we can't wait to have them on our platform and for you guys. So that being said, we are going to move along to some topics today. Look at
that is just so pretty, Seth.
that.
He said hit the heart button, so I did.
He did as a heart. I wish I how that's great.
I
So
don't know how I did it. I'm magical.
I
all
love
right.
it. Literally.
All right, so we are going to jump into a couple of news topics that I thought were interesting. Um, so, Cold,
No.
Cold War era CIA documents has resurfaced online, recounting a bizarre incident in which Soviet troops allegedly engaged with a UFO in the late 1980s, leading to 23 soldiers reportedly being turned into stone by a blast of bright light. Sourced from a KGB file, the story has reignited debates about extraterrestrial life and secret military knowledge, drawing both fascination and skepticism from officials, ex-intelligence agents, and global public. Uh, a single-page CIA.
So Medusa,
Yeah, they got Medusa'd,
when you said they were
allegedly.
turned to stone, like
Yeah. A single-page CIA report has gone viral, reviving one of the most startling claims of the Cold War, that Soviet soldiers were allegedly turned to stone following an encounter with an unidentified flying object. The incident believed to have occurred in 1989 or 1990, which first detailed in a 250-page KGB file reportedly obtained by the CIA after the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. The document summarizes coverage by Canadian Weekly World News and Ukrainian newspaper Holos Ukraini, and describes what it calls a horrific picture of revenge on the part of extraterrestrial creatures, a picture that makes one's blood freeze. Missile strike and alien retaliation. According to the KGB file, a unit of 25 soldiers was conducting training drills near a military base in Ukraine or possibly Siberia, depending on the source, when they spotted a low-flying spaceship in the shape of a saucer overhead. One of the soldiers launched a surface-to-air missile at the object, reportedly striking it and bringing it down. What happened next left survivors in shock. It fell to Earth not far away, and 5 short humanoids with large heads and large black eyes emerged from it, the report claims. Survivors told officials that the beings quickly regrouped and merged into a single object that acquired a spherical shape. Moments later, the sphere emitted an intense burst of light. In a few seconds, the spheres grew much bigger and exploded by flaring up with an extremely bright light. At the very instant, 23 soldiers who had watched the phenomenon turned into stone poles, the file states. So,
I can back that up. I was there.
mhm.
I was too. I was up in a branch. The beam of light missed me. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Can we call this a UFM, an unidentified flying Medusa?
UFM.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call that.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. I mean,
it sounds
it's
good
quite
to me.
fantastical.
Yeah.
It doesn't to me. If they can
I
turn me to
mean,
stone.
that's, I mean, the article says it
No one said.
resurfaced,
Listen, I know they're supposed to.
but I've never heard of it
So,
before, but
okay.
it's interesting.
No, I've never heard of that. And
Wow.
the weird thing is too, like, that I think that's the only claim I've ever heard of an alien entity turning somebody into stone.
Stone, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I've never heard that.
that's pretty weird to me, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it makes it a little unbelievable, but you know,
Yeah.
with stuff like this, like who do you credit? You know, like
Right.
who do you
Well,
believe?
it's also something that's resurfacing. You know, did this the likelihood of this happening? I mean, you never
Yeah.
listen. You never know, right? Like the government has access, and
Yeah, and so many like files being classified and, coming declassified. So it's like, okay, are they putting out, misinformation or, like, oh, these people will believe anything.
Right. Did the people that turned to stone, did they live? Did they die?
Um,
Are they still stone?
are they still stone?
I mean, there's questions to be answered here
Yeah.
aside from what you know what I mean?
yeah, that.
What happened to
And
them?
I'm guessing if you turn to stone, there's no coming back.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
so
and if this happened in '89, we would, I guess we would surely know what.
well, the article goes on to say 2 survived, others taken away. Only 2 soldiers reportedly survived the incident, shielded by a shade that protected them from the full force of the flash. The KGB is said to have transported the petrified remains of the 23 soldiers and the wrecked spacecraft to a secret base near Moscow. There, Soviet scientists determined that the soldiers' molecular structures had been altered and now resembled limestone. The weapon or energy used in the explosion was said to be or was that said to be beyond the comprehension of existing science. If the KGB file,
So
of
that.
course,
No, you finish that.
if the KGB file corresponds to reality, this is an extremely menacing case, the CIA wrote. The aliens possess such weapons and technology that go beyond all our assumptions they can stand up for themselves if attacked.
Well, I don't think there was ever a question that
Oh
they could
yeah,
stand up for themselves.
yeah,
That was never. I just didn't know they could Medusa people.
No,
That's
and again, they're like, there's two survivors, and then the scientist did the research that they changed their molecular structure, but where's that proof though?
right.
Like where
Yeah,
like
it's a
where's
CIA
the
or
stone? Where's
it,
the
it's a single page report. So I mean, I guess the original report was like a 23-page report, and the
okay?
CIA only declassified one
But
page of it. And you would think that there would be like
yeah,
medical records of the uh the examinations and all that stuff.
who's
exactly.
reporting this?
Uh, it was on a couple of different sites. This one was India Times. It was the one with like the least amount of, or the Economic Times. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
The one with like the least
and
amount
like
of disruptive stuff.
you're just reading the story, like
Yeah.
it's a thing, but this is just like when I hear stuff like this, or honestly when we hear stuff like this, that's what we do. Like
Hmm.
we go into that mode, the same thing we do when we're doing paranormal investigations. We go into debunking mode
Oh yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
go, what, like, where's the evidence, where's the proof?
Yeah.
Like I can't, like, I love the internet,
Yeah.
but damn,
So
man,
there
it
is
gets
a
times.
skeptic. There's a skeptic part of the article where it says skeptics weigh in. Not everyone is convinced. Former CIA officer Mike Baker expressed doubts of the story's authenticity. If there was an incident, regardless of the nature of this incident, I suspect that the actual report much doesn't look much like what has now come out from 5 or 6, 7 iterations of what originally was written. He told Fox News Digital. I'm sure there's something out there. I just don't think that they landed decades ago, turned Soviet soldiers into limestone, and we're just now hearing about it. I don't think that's the case. Despite his skepticism, Baker acknowledged that unexplained aerial phenomena remain a topic worthy of investigating. So, I mean,
I think that's a really good.
that's a level-headed response to it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and
Okay.
it is hard for me to believe in. I know, this is Soviet Russia, and you know, things were so secretive. It's also strange. I don't know why when you said they took the craft and the stone people
Mm-hmm.
to a secret base outside of Moscow.
Mm-hmm.
That's odd to me. Why is your secret base close to your largest city when you literally have a forest enough in the rest of your country? Just a thought.
Well,
Oh.
all the vodka is very close to Moscow.
True. Well,
Then you could also say that, people would expect it to be out in that vast wilderness. That people wouldn't necessarily expect a secret base
well,
close to the city. But I mean, I
you
get your
know
point. I get your point.
Yeah.
who lives in Siberia?
Tigers.
The
Well, yeah.
Siberians.
Okay, well, screw you. Yeah, but come on. You know who lives out there? Come on, think what I'm trying to do here. Come on.
Hang on.
It's
Siberia. Like
that part of Russia, the Ural Mountains. Well, I mean, that's Ural Mountains on the other side.
Goku.
Yes, yes, Goku.
Fuck yes.
That's We're gonna. This is now turning into a Dragon Ball Z review.
I almost said Vegeta, but like I went with Goku, and I was right. Nice.
Guys, come on! What mythological creature is supposed to be out in Siberia? Who's guarding this big fortress with stone people in it.
I don't
I
know.
don't
Is it
know.
Jesus?
It is
Who?
not Jesus.
What
I don't
is
think
it?
it is
Wow.
the it's the freaking Yeti.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Bigfoot
Well,
lives everywhere.
You
He's also right here.
I well
you
I
could have
really
just said Yeti.
no, I couldn't. No, I was trying to go somewhere, and you guys took with the other fork in the road.
Can we go there then, Corey? Can we go there?
I'm not going anywhere.
Where are you going?
I don't know.
Oh
I
my
was just
God.
trying to tie two paranormal things together, saying, "Oh, maybe the Yeti's guarding the fort with the stone people in it."
Okay,
But
fair,
All
fair,
you
right.
fair.
guys, I don't know uh,
I don't
what was.
know, but speaking of famous places,
Oh yeah,
so if you
Kevin's
guys
like, we're fucking moving on.
so
Fuck you
if you
guys.
guys were in the market for a haunted mansion, which is not near Moscow, but
I
is in Massachusetts and
I'm
has
not.
been on such shows such as Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, and My Ghost Story, one just happened to pop itself up on the market for a small price of $1.2 million. Um, so, famous haunted mansion in the Massachusetts city listed for sale. Take a look inside. One of the most haunted homes in New England just hit the market. The S.K. Pierce Victorian Mansion at 4 West Broadway in Gardner is on sale, is what this article says, for $1.2 million, according to a Lair Realty Partners listing. The 7 bedroom and 3.5 bath home, built in 1875, spans 3 full floors of historic grandeur and chilling intrigue, the listing states. The infamous home is zoned for residential or commercial occupancy. Famed for its paranormal activity and globally recognized by ghost hunters, history buffs, and thrill seekers alike, this property is the ultimate opportunity to create a destination Airbnb, boutique B&B, or unforgettable event venue that guests will travel far and wide to experience, the listing reads. The home has been cited the second most haunted house in Massachusetts and the ninth most haunted house in America, according to the mansion's official website. Guests have experienced everything from voices, chanting, full body apparitions, moving furniture, screens flying off walls or flying off windows, slamming doors, the sounds of footsteps on the stairs and halls, sudden temperature changes, odors, shadow people, and ominous lion's roar, which can shake the house, the website states. Others have felt the pressure of hands actually pushing them. One visitor felt that a presence was attempting to push her down the steps, while another was almost forced out of the third-floor window. Paranormal experts have also claimed that the entities in the mansion are the most advanced they have ever seen. Sylvester Pierce was a wealthy businessman who built the mansion in the 1880s. He achieved his fortune as the owner of the S.K. Pierce and Sons Furniture Company. The success of the company and the furniture industry led to Gardner being known as Chair City. Yeah. So there you have it.
well, 1.2 million for that property.
1.2 million. It's
Really, if you
actually
think
not a lot.
no, not for what you'd be getting. That's also in the master or the master bedroom there. They supposedly had a case of spontaneous combustion.
No,
Um,
that's Tracy's
um,
favorite.
yeah,
So,
yeah, it's not something I like. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's always been a weird subject for me. I'd like that to never
Hmm.
happen.
so
Like she legit won't talk about spontaneous human combustion.
It's a freaky
She's
subject.
probably shivering right now when she listens to this.
It's a freaky subject.
Yeah.
so this place has every claim ever of
Hmm.
And the
every
and the
type of haunting.
MGM the
It
MGM
come.
lion also lives there.
Oh yeah, yeah. It comes with everything that a haunted location could have.
I'm surprised. Do you
Only
remember
like
the
130
episode?
something years old, huh?
Hmm. I don't remember the episode
Very
of
interesting.
Ghost Hunters that it was
I
on.
can tell you this is the episode where they find Steve and Tango hook a camera up to a wire in the top and it moves. and it's looking down at the stairs, and the thing kind of moves back and forth a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And they go back, and that's actually that guy sold it, and then Ghost Hunters went back again with the new owner, and I guess I don't know how many times it's been sold since then, but that's
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to own a
Oh yeah.
haunted
That's a
mansion.
great price.
That's a good
Well, I mean,
investment.
yeah.
Like,
Can I
yeah.
afford it? Can't afford it,
No.
but I'd
No.
love it. And really, it is. I mean, the place is gorgeous. I
Oh
mean, if
yeah.
you take the
Oh yeah, I was looking at pictures of it. It's nice. I mean, because if you go to I'll try to remember to put them in the show notes. The link to this site that I'm looking at, it's a Fox News local, I guess, up there, Boston site, and it has pictures of the inside of the house, and it's like absolutely gorgeous. Like it's
Can you
beautiful
also tell me
inside.
where it's located again? City and state, please.
Uh,
Yes.
Gardner, Massachusetts. It's
What state is that?
4 West Broadway in Gardner, Massachusetts. Am I saying
As someone
Massachusetts?
from as someone from New England,
Well, I'm supposed to say
who lived,
Massachusetts or something?
it's Massachusetts, and I don't
Massachusetts.
know. No, I don't know what that you're saying. It's a like a choo choo, not a like a kitty.
Massachusetts.
It's
Massachusetts.
choose like choo choo choose it's.
It's Massachusetts. That's why I've always
Now
said it.
people have said, well, you've been saying it wrong. That's
Well,
okay. Um,
it
I,
sounds right to me.
I was just letting him be right this whole time. I was just like, it's
no,
fine. I'm not.
no. Well, you're not from. Wait, where? I forget where you're from. Sometimes.
I'm from fucking Massachusetts. No, I'm not. I'm.
Wouldn't
I'm
that be
from.
funny?
I'm from fucking Florida, dude. This is my home.
But I'm
Unfortunately,
from New England, and you got to. I mean, I can fuck it up. I can say
yeah.
Massachusetts. I can say masshole. I can say all that.
I.
Well,
Well,
I'm
you're all
from North
assholes,
Carolina, and
but
I say Massachusetts.
I get that
North
that you
Carolina.
you
Hmm.
guys from up there are actually guys. I get it.
I mean, New England is better than anywhere that exists anywhere else on Earth, and
Well, that is.
it has produced. I
That's
mean, obviously the best people that's ever been a part of history. Yours truly being one of them. So, um,
Well, that's up
damn it.
for debate.
well,
Oh God, we're so fucking off the rails right now.
Yeah.
that's because
So,
I'm here.
um, y'all want to know
Damn
a
it.
cool fact about today in history?
Sure.
Queen Anne knighted Isaac Newton
What is
on
that
this
today?
day in history.
Nice. When was that?
That
Exactly.
was
1632.
something like that.
Yeah, I know. Well, it wasn't Isaac Newton from the 1600s or 1500s, somewhere around that time frame. When did we discover gravity?
Um,
I feel like it's like early to mid 1600s. Because
Would that
Isaac
be?
Newton was also in charge of currency in the United Kingdom as
I
well.
can
He did a lot of things.
I can
mhm.
definitely say that I think dinosaurs definitely understood gravity.
I don't think they understood it. I think they knew they weren't floating away.
Right? Yes.
Might not even have thought that. I mean, I don't know. I think in my eyes, a dinosaur is just like, gotta eat, gotta poop, gotta drink. Like a baby. Like I don't know.
Did you
I'm
say
not.
dinosaurs or humans?
Well, some
Oh,
humans are probably like that too. I mean, humans are like that. There's just other things that happen in between where dinosaurs probably just think that.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
It was
I think as that meteor was coming
1705.
down, they were like,
Really, 1700s?
1705, April 16th, Sir Isaac Newton was knighted by Queen Anne at Cambridge University. This act of knighthood was a surprise to Newton as well as to everyone else present.
Queen Anne.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did.
She was
I
hot. Oh, sorry, I heard. I don't know. I don't know.
I was just kind of looking up cool facts about today, and that one kind of stuck out to me, Queen Anne. But
Yeah, yeah, rock star of her day. I
and
I don't know
also
anything about Queen Anne. To
during
be fair,
this,
I know she knighted Sir Isaac Newton. I now know a fact about her.
yeah. What was it? There was something else. Yeah. So on April 16th, 1912, the RMS Titanic disaster was still unfolding while the ship had sunk the previous night. The full extent of the tragedy was beginning to emerge. Among the eerie details was the discovery of a photograph taken by the German ship Prince Adalbert. The photo, snapped on April 15th, showed an iceberg with a large red streak, possibly from the Titanic's hull, scraping against it. At the time, the sinking was not yet known to the Prince Adalbert's crew, adding an unsettling layer to the coincidence. Additionally, the Titanic's band, led by Wallace Hartley, continued to play music to calm passengers as the ship sank. Their final song was reportedly "Nearer My God to Thee," though some accounts suggest it was "Song du Automne." All 8 members perished, their dedication to the craft leaving a haunting legacy. These events unfolding on April 16th, 1912, contribute to the eerie and tragic history of the Titanic disaster. I figured you would appreciate that, Corey.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually brought that up to work at work yesterday, and I said, "Do you guys know what today is?" And they're like, "No." And I told them it had been 113 years since the Titanic sank. They're like, why do you know that? I thought a lot of people, maybe it's the same with tornadoes because I do the same thing with that.
Mhm.
Um, like days like April 27th and May 3rd and whatnot. But it, yeah, it's pretty neat. And I was actually just watching an interview with a woman from the 1980s who was young when the Titanic sank, and she was talking about the band playing until literally the final moments, and the song that they played, the God, you just said it. What
Was
was the one that
was
she said?
"Nearer My God to Thee."
Yep, that's the one that she said she heard. Also, you guys remember the baker aboard the Titanic got drunk as a skunk as the Titanic was sinking, and
That's
he's one of the few that was pulled out of the water. He was able to survive in the water for 2 hours. He drank a lot of liquor, and that apparently saved his life. He was able to keep his insides warm enough, and
I
he
mean, in
could
that
survive.
situation, what are you gonna do?
Right.
Just gonna
Well,
drink a bunch.
listen, he made the right
Yeah.
choice. He definitely. I mean, either way.
Yeah. So, Corey, oh, everything is broke. Skip.
But yeah, no, yeah.
Titanic. Sorry.
Oh, he's back! Yay!
Oh,
I
Yay.
was
his
sad.
things. Okay.
Yeah. That should be getting fixed very soon. But yeah. So, Corey, you had an interesting topic you wanted to bring up and touch on today. So I'll let
Yeah,
you go ahead and lead with that.
sure. So I have recently, I think for the past couple months, started going to church. So that has been very interesting to me for a few reasons. But it has brought kind of to my attention, you know, churches, they're not fond of paranormal investigators. A lot of them, at least, because they don't believe in per se spirits the way we do.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What's the Holy Ghost then?
well, right, and then I was actually talking to someone else as well, and I would agree with you in a way, right? Um, I was talking to someone else, and they said, well, I think when you die, your loved ones could, be the ones that are there to usher you into the other life. And I'm like, well, wouldn't that be a spirit? I don't, what it, and actually there are some passages in biblical terms that say that no one goes straight to heaven, that there's kind of a purgatory period, that you're either sleeping or just kind of here until Jesus comes back and takes everyone. I kind of am working in my head on the theory that when we're talking to spirits and communicating, that maybe we're literally talking to spirits that are in purgatory. Just a theory, and I don't know.
Well, that's what the paranormal field is. Just a ton of theories. So, I mean, it stands to reason, I mean, I'm open to several theories because what do we know? We've said that numerous times on this podcast and at our presentations, what do we actually know? So, I mean, definitely.
Exactly. And to that point, that's exactly what some of that stuff is exactly what drives me like to do what we do, but it's easy to say, it's so easy to say, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happens. I don't know what it is. It's the people that claim they know. And that's the problem to me. You know what I mean? Like you're talking about religion, Corey, and anybody that needs religion, anybody that is religious, I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not. But there's so many of those people, and Corey knows these people, and Kevin, you know these people too. They go, I know exactly what happens to you when you die. This is what happens to you when you die. And you go, how do you know though?
Right.
Because unless you die, you don't
don't
know.
know.
So if you're alive, you know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying on that. Like, it's like, but you're asking the right questions, Corey, when you're in like talking to these people. Exactly. Like, we don't know. And it's okay to say that. It's okay.
Right.
Just say
I think even in terms of Christianity, there's nothing concrete in the Bible saying exactly step by step what happens at death.
Yeah, exactly. They'll claim that there is, but there's not.
There's not. And I think it's a viable thing. I also don't, as someone who has had a slight change in faith, and I also don't believe in the Garden of Eden. I think I see God as a scientist in a way. If maybe the Big Bang, you're right. That's how I would see it. Why does it have to be Adam and Eve or Adam and Steve for the liberals out there? I'm gay. Calm down. Why can't it be this creator created science and evolution, and why can't it all kind of coexist, including the paranormal tied into that, being a scientific thing, but maybe also a spiritual thing too. I mean, it's interesting. Now, there's many people I can't really talk to about that because they'll be like, no,
Right.
But I think it's a worthwhile theory to think about.
It definitely is. Definitely is. I love talking about that stuff. I love talking to religious people because, like, I grew up Catholic, so that's to me was like, like they pretty much make you memorize the Bible like from beginning to end. You know what I mean? But I didn't stop there. I actually, went on the Old Testament stuff too, like everything. And it's interesting stuff to me. You know what I mean? It always is. And I never knock religion if people need it, to get through their life or whatever, to believe in something greater. That's great, man. I love it. But I love getting these conversations because I'm not religious. They're like, well, you don't know. And I'll be like,
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
let me school you, because
Yeah.
I do know, but it's beyond me. I just don't subscribe to it, right? I'm
Yeah.
not your YouTube subscriber there, but it, you know, but yeah, it does hold water.
Yeah.
Some of it we can't prove it, so I'm out.
I mean, there's not
You know,
much we can. In well, I'll say this first because I'll forget to say this. Um, how often do paranormal teams? We can go back to very famous ones. The Warrens, especially, worked
mm-hmm,
with the church.
Hmm.
mm-hmm, yeah,
A lot of teams, Kappa has reached out to holy people before.
Hmm.
absolutely.
So, and that's usually on the behalf or on the request of
The
the
client.
client.
And
But you
Mhm,
know,
and to piggyback on that, we've actually even given advice, when a client comes to us and they feel
mhm,
like they have a negative entity or something like that. I personally, I don't subscribe to any religion, but I will give the advice, religious provocation,
sure.
and it's to me, it doesn't matter the religion or whatever. It's like, so whatever the client may believe in, it's as long as you believe it, and whatever you're saying, you, with all of your heart, you believe what you're saying to whatever
Mhm,
you feel may be there,
mhm,
has that effect. It could be Jewish, Christian, Hindu, or whatever, um,
yep.
any religious belief that you have, as long as you feel it in your heart and what you're saying is 100% true to you, then it has that effect, and it can, push away a negative entity or something dark that's
Mhm,
around you,
mhm,
so good.
or to piggyback off of your piggybacking,
Or
that's
just
you make
piggybacking.
it. Well, you sure are.
ooh.
Yep.
Oh,
Um,
it's like a piggyback conga circle. Okay,
I don't want to be part of one of those. Not with you guys. Um,
fine.
Okay.
the the um the clients too that are calling us, they are also. We've had clients, more than one,
We
with
have.
religious background who
Yes.
believe in God and and are church dwelling people that they just don't have an answer. So we call on, we may have to call on the church, being whatever church they want us to call on.
Mhm,
Um, but those clients, sometimes, or the church may. I've seen churches also call on the paranormal investigators. That has happened. There are certain denominations more open to it.
Yeah.
Episcopalian is one that is much more open to the idea, and that's why you see. I believe there's an episode of Ghost Hunters with an Episcopalian church. So
yep.
it's it's a fascinating topic because you know there's a lot of religion kind of condemns anything about the paranormal, but it's all about spirits and the Holy Ghost. So, and with the points that we all have mentioned here, I don't know. The interesting, an interesting theory
Mhm,
that I have, since I have been going to church, that is now something I'm thinking much more deeply about, and maybe my being more religious, going down the road, may help with a client someday.
Hmm.
Who knows? But
yeah, that's all fair enough, man.
Yeah.
It's fair.
So, all right. That's interesting. Um, do we have any final thoughts before we wrap up this episode?
Well, we didn't touch on. I did
Oh
want to touch on
yes, yes. The
the
dire
dire
wolves.
wolves.
Yes.
I thought that was super cool, and it's not paranormal
Right. It's
per
above the
se,
normal, so it can
but
fall in that umbrella. It's not normal that every day something is
yeah,
brought back from extinction.
yeah.
Pretty
But
cool.
we cloned dire wolves that have
Yeah.
been extinct for what is it, 10,000 years now?
Yeah, something like
10,000
that. And
years.
it was cool. I watched like a
And we have
video.
two.
Yeah, I saw a video either on Facebook or Tracy may have sent it on Instagram. I'm not sure. It was like the first dire wolf howl in like 10,000 years or
Oh, it's so
something.
cute.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, yeah, melted my heart. Like,
I immediately told her I need at least three.
yeah.
Like,
Right.
like,
Yeah. So
and then,
in like growing up and even shit till up until a couple months ago, dire wolves were just a thing that we either had as a companion or fought in D&D, you know, or you have they're in
Game of
Game of
Thrones.
Thrones and stuff. Like it was just a fantasy character. I mean, they've been
Yeah,
gone for 10,000 years,
yeah,
and now we have them again, and
right.
it's like that's insane to me.
Yeah. And
That's
then
just an insane thought, and
those
also
same,
really cool.
yeah, and those same videos or whatever I'll see about them where you'll have the rain on your parade people that are like, oh, it's just a modified gray wolf, which isn't even in the same family as dire wolves. Come on, let us have this. Like let us have
Well,
this.
yeah. Apparently, they don't understand what a dire wolf is.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. It's
Yeah.
cool.
And
I mean,
it's
I mean,
It's
it's crazy
fascinating.
to
It
think
is.
of all the things that we can do with technology. We keep going back to that. I forgot what we were talking about the other day or the other episode, Seth. Something about technology and like, oh man, look what we can do with technology. And now we're
Oh,
bringing back
it was scientists freezing
freezing
light.
light. Yeah, and now we can freeze light. We can bring back extinct species. Where I still think we're quite a few hop, skips, and jumps away from dinosaurs, but one can hope.
we better be very far away from. We
No,
have
What?
so
there's been 6 movies about why we should.
shouldn't do that. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
There's been
Yes.
6 movies of how people
Okay,
shouldn't
3.
do stupid things that
Yeah.
and no, I don't
Like
want to go to a
cloning
Jurassic Park.
dinosaurs.
No.
Listen, I
Well,
would be
so
okay
do
with
I.
like,
So does Cleo.
I don't know if
But
you guys know what a diplodocus is.
I do.
The big long neck. That would
Mhm.
be. I mean, if I could, like, give them. I couldn't scratch their neck. They're really big. But there would be. If we want to bring back one of them, that'd be fine. Like, or one
See,
of
you
just
think
something I
I
it's
can eat.
but even that, do you think it's gonna understand when it's just walking through and you think it's gonna understand your house? No, it's just gonna
no, it's gonna
walk
walk.
right through it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can. I mean, we can't.
But
Listen, there's one
there's
thing we can never bring back ever. It's
The
the one thing. I watched a movie.
the Coriosaurus.
No, but that is a dinosaur.
it is.
The Corosaurus is a dinosaur. We could bring
Cor-
that back, and I can have him as my pet.
Yeah.
They were
See, now look,
they're
now you're on our side with it. See
well.
how
I
see?
said we could bring back a
Full
Diplodocus,
circle.
but
Yeah.
no T Rexes,
Hmm.
even a Triceratops. Maybe they can go live with the hippos and the rhinos.
Look, it's completely not plausible, and I understand the fantastical thought behind it. Okay, so don't roast me in the comments or you guys either. I want a Suchomimus. I I understand that they can't probably be domesticated, but that's my favorite dinosaur. I want a Suchomimus.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
uh,
see?
interesting choice. I'm not going to roast you for it because I want a dinosaur the size of like 5 school buses. So,
Yeah, see, mine
oh,
is only the size of like a small bus.
Right.
Maybe a large
Ooh, you know,
car. Not that
a
big.
stegosaurus could be fun too.
Stegosaurus, Triceratops.
Stegosaurus with those big tails whipping around.
Yeah, with a
Wow.
thagomizer.
Yeah,
Stay out of that.
yeah, that would
Stay
be
out of the way of that.
yeah, that would be fun to get hit by while you're driving
Well,
your
I
cart
wouldn't
out
get hit,
there.
but I'd like to watch it hit. I'd like to watch the dinosaur hit things with its tail.
I don't want it to hit me, but I want to watch it hit other people.
Yeah, well, I didn't say people. I said things. Like those videos where things are getting smushed,
I
like it's
said people.
wrecking stuff.
I said people. I don't want it to hit me, but I would enjoy watching it hit other people.
Listen, there's one thing that we cannot bring back. Dire wolves, that's so cool, or just adorable in general. But I watched a movie when I was like 10,
Is that the only
and
movie you watched?
only one ever. Never watched another.
Just the one movie when I was 10. Okay, cool.
Just
That's
that
the
one. And it was about saber-toothed tigers, and everyone was getting killed by these rogue saber-toothed tigers, and it scared. I don't know why. It scared the crap out of me, and I have this weird fear of saber-toothed tigers.
But
They've been extinct for so long.
didn't either one of you watch the movie, what is it, 10,000 BC? And the guy like befriended a saber tooth?
I don't remember.
I
Wait,
believe
no,
so.
I do remember that. I
Well,
do remember that.
I don't want to have to befriend something with fangs that are bigger than my head.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah. Saber-tooth tigers are pretty
I-
awesome. I'm a cat person and
Me-
by
dude.
default.
I've wanted a great cat for a long time.
Yeah.
Like even if it's a Savannah cat or a serval, whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, I want that big thing on me just purring.
Yes.
I want to feel that purr.
Do you guys know the wild cat species that's most likely able to be domesticated? Do you know what
Is
that
it
is?
a serval?
It's in Africa.
Cheetah?
So African servals, or is it a cheetah?
It's a cheetah.
Oh, that's where you get the Savannah cats. That's
Yeah.
what I want. They're so pretty.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
are.
Cheetahs
Instead I got-
are beautiful. I love cats. The big cats, they're just the murder mittens. Love them. I can't
Yeah.
say that word. We'll get
Who
demonetized.
loves them?
They have knives for hands.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
When did we become monetized? Am I getting paid now? YouTube, where's my paycheck?
Is that cats on the flag? But they have knives for hands.
All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up here. Any last thoughts? I've already said that, but before we wrap it up,
Remember to spay and neuter your pets.
okay. So Corey, where can they find you? Haven't said that in a while.
No, gosh, you can find me on if you guys want to talk to me. You can find me on Grindr. No, I'm kidding. Well, I'm not. I've never said that before. This is what happens when I'm gone for a while.
You can actually find me there. My OnlyFans is
Yeah. And trust me, people would stay far away from that. Now you can find me on Facebook and other things, Corey R. Beam, and on the Snapchats and the TikToks, and basically that's my name everywhere. So, except here, it's Ryan C. Beam for some reason.
All right, and you can find me at everything Kappa Paranormal. Don't forget to like and follow the Kappa page at facebook.com/Kappa Paranormal. Visit the website kappaparanormal.com. And yeah, so if you stuck around, you're an absolute legend. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit us up in the comments down below. And until next time, I have been Kevin Leonard. That has been Seth Converse. And that has been Corey Beam. And this has been Into the Paranormal.